Okay, definite spoilers on this one. There's no way to talk about it without doing so. So if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it, then watch us. Hello out there, I'm the Oldest Nerd, and Such Sweet Sorrow is the name of the episode of Star Trek Discovery this week, and it is the next to the last episode. And as you know, if you've seen it, it is a two-parter, and in this two-parter, the first part grabs your emotions and does not let them go throughout much of it. We start the show after the end of the last episode, where they tell you that the Section 31 ships are all surrounding them, and they're going to have to self-destruct the ship. Now, actually, it was the long-range sensors. These ships are not quite in range yet, and they decide to destroy the ship. And so they jump considerably away where they can rendezvous with Enterprise that has now been repaired and refit. And they meet with Enterprise with the plans to load all of the Discovery crew onto the Enterprise and then to blow up the ship, which of course does not work because the sphere data, which protected itself from being erased, is not going to let the ship destroy itself or to be destroyed. It puts up its shields. However, interestingly, it lets the crew back on. I'm not sure exactly how that happens. I guess the AI knew that if they couldn't destroy it, they would try to preserve it in some way. But be that as it may, we'll overlook that for the moment. We bring back Poe, the young queen of an entire planet, who was the subject of one of the short treks, which sneaked aboard the ship. Tilly befriended, got to know her, and then helped her sneak back off the ship to her planet when she was concerned about being able to rule it. So Tilly knew her very well, much to the surprise of Pike and other members of the crew. So we're seeing that all of these episodes are going to have characters that have been used in the short treks. So I don't know how they're going to work in Harry Mudd next week, but you never know. We might expect that Burnham's got to grab the crystal herself and see her own future, and what she sees is a big battle in which there is great damage done to the Enterprise. She decides that we have to come up with a different idea. After she sees the crystal, she will not allow any big battles to take place until they've had some time to perhaps develop another time suit. It just so happens that they are in the vicinity of the planet in which Poe is the ruler, and with her engineering knowledge, combine that with Jet Reno, who we see back with quite a good performance, and all of the cast having a contribution into this, it becomes the most compelling show. It's a show, first of all, about almost destroying the ship, but you knew that wasn't going to happen, or didn't think it was going to happen, without doing a Dash A ship and continue Discovery into the next season. But they're going to push it into the far future. This is something that people have theorized about before. So we... if you were the one who, if you were one of the ones that thought that the ship was going to go way into the future and therefore the past would change in such a way that Burnham would not be remembered by the people in the present, that does look like the most likely candidate right now. So much in here, so much emotion. In trying to come up with ideas, Giorgio, who has rejoined them, makes an idea of creating a supernova in order to make this time crystal work. Someone points out that destroying an entire star system is not really the way to do it, and she says, "I thought there were no bad ideas." Pike quickly jumps in and says, "That's a lie." I kind of like that. She gets in a couple of good lines, does Giorgio. She also accused Burnham in her plan of flying through the galaxy like a galactic rubber band with a martyr complex. So she has some good lines. She has some good snark, even though she's put in her place by Poe later on in the episode. So we see some interesting ideas of what we have to expect in next week's show. Obviously, they have tried to do this. It looks like they may be successful at it. And a group of extra heroic bridge crew are going to go with her. So not only is Burnham going into the indefinite future, but also Saru and Detmer and Bryce and the rest of the bridge crew. And also Poe and Stamets and Spock. Now, we know from the timeline that we're familiar with that Spock obviously isn't going to make it, so we know that there's going to be something that's going to separate him from everybody else, and we kind of see where that's going in the preview for next week. So it's likely that Spock was at least noble and probably just won't be able to make it with them. Some very powerful scenes of a cross-galactic Katra meld with Sarek and Amanda was very touching. Also, the group that says that they're not going to let Burnham go alone was also very touching. And the honor that they gave Captain Pike as he left the bridge for the last time of Discovery was also a very powerful scene in this. They have a little bit of comic relief in here, but it is full of action, it is full of adventure, it is full of nobility, it treats the characters with great respect. It shows that, one person can't do it all, that it has to be a team effort, and all for the best reasons are these people going to take this sacrifice and move with Discovery into the future. So there's a question of who's going to be the new captain, and Pike almost names one, it looks like, but then stops. And at Saru's suggestion, there's time later to decide who's going to be in command. So there's some room for speculation as to what will happen if they're successful in doing this. So a gripping, a emotional, a roller coaster ride, a fast-moving episode was this. The only thing that I can say that bothers me a little bit is how they were able to get so far ahead of the Section 31 that they were able to outsmart it long enough in order to do all of this. Why couldn't Section 31 kind of anticipate this? Why was it that the sphere data that's on Discovery even let them back on the ship after they tried to blow it up and then tried to shoot photon torpedoes at it? Those are things that have kind of a problem for me in that. They're minor ones, but they kind of make you stop and think about that. I love the look of the Enterprise. It looks like the Enterprise, outside and in, and as you might imagine, they had to update it so that the technology in there doesn't look old by 21st century standards. So I believe that it is a 23rd century ship, and at the same time, I believe it's the same Enterprise. I'm very happy to see that, and as much of it as they had built out. There have been people that have said in the comments that how is it that they could go through all this trouble and build all of these sets for Enterprise and just use it one more episode and be gone? So I have a feeling that we're going to see more of Enterprise. Maybe there's a theory that's running out there, and I have no way of corroborating this. So I'll just throw it out there, and we can all see what happens on that. But this idea of doing a show with Pike and Spock in the Enterprise going forward seems like a very good idea. I think they would be ill-advised to let Anson Mount go work for somebody else at this point. We've seen just what kind of acting chops he has, and he's needed for a series of any Star Trek. And I think that he would be incredibly popular with him and Ethan Peck as Spock, and Rebecca Romijn as number one. And they have all of the people we have heard of in early Trek with him, Yeoman Colt, the various characters that they can flesh out on that. and very easily make an Enterprise under Pike type of story. And they still have about 8 years until he has his terrible accident that was foreseen in the last episode. So with all of these things, a very good episode. It once again is kind of building a bridge to the season finale, and the season finale is going to be something we're just not going to be able to miss. So I'd like to know what you think about this, and please let me know in the comments. Also, like and subscribe if you will, and we'll talk to you next time, and until then, don't go far.